today. I'll give it a few minutes before I start. Um, Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're all well. And I know usually I do my lives on a Saturday night, but somehow we are on a Sunday morning, Eastern Time. As usual, I will give it a couple of minutes before more of y'all join me. And yes, and today, yet again, we are on a very interesting topic, that is, how do you adapt to a life of being a twin flame, and how do you actually transition to being a twin flame? I see one of you. Say hi, let me know you guys are here. Also, going to talk a bit about the energies of April. Things are shifting a little. You would notice there's a little lightness, that has come in, compared to how it has been the last couple of months. It has been really intense. The next couple of months will start to get better, and you will notice this more and more. For the time being, the best advice I would give to you guys is to hang in there and stay grounded. Keep doing what you got to do. Most importantly, self love, enjoying the little moments around you, and looking at this whole journey, um, not on a micro level, but rather on a macro level. And also, you would have also noticed that you would feel like you're coming out of a big slumber. Some divine feminines have been feeling that. You guys have been feeling really weak and quite low on energy of late. So that is going to change. Once May comes in, June comes in, things are going to change. So that's good. So the energies are meant to become a little bit more lighter in the coming weeks, and you will start to notice this on an energy level. The body aches, the migraines. But lately, a lot of divine feminines would have noticed, you guys would have noticed that you may have been going through a lot of crown chakra download. So you may have that piercing pain around your head, and no matter what medication you take, that headache might not go away. So you may be affected by that. And it will continue to be a little dense this month. So you will only notice to see the shift from May onwards. So you got to hang in there and stay tight. Anyway, jumping into today's topic, we're talking about how do you actually transition into being a twin flame, and how do you eventually adapt into the twin flame lifestyle? Because this is one of those things that isn't going to come to you naturally, because it is so difficult, it's so hard, it's so challenging that you may not be able to just you wake up, you realize you're a twin flame, and delve right into the journey. Firstly, recognition is a big part of the journey. Now, once you recognize, once you get a confirmation that you are a twin flame, half the battle is won, which means nothing really changes. It's just that you're more aware of your situation. Hi, Josephine. So good to see you. It's been a while. I hope you're well. So, as I was talking about today's topic and how, you know, transitioning into the life of being a twin flame and how difficult it can be. Hi, Nimit. Good to see you. Hey, guys, tell me you guys are here. So, thanks, Josephine and Nimit, for actually telling me you guys are here. If not, I feel like I'm, just talking to the screen. Nimit says hi to everyone. I hope you guys have been having a good week so far. If there's anything, please feel free to share in your comments. Hi, AP. I hope you're well. Um, Thanks for sending all your love, guys. Really, and thanks for also tuning in to these lives every week. And I'm so glad we're having this discussion. So if you guys have anything, please feel free to ask your questions here. Today's topic is about how you transition into being a twin flame. So your whole life, you may have enjoyed a certain level of freedom, but once you're a twin flame, the freedom is not external, it's rather internal, because all of a sudden you'll feel like you're being limited in many ways, especially with expression. Because once you meet your twin flame or have any kind of contact, you will notice that you're not able to be with anyone else. It becomes really difficult. A lot of divine feminines have told me this after they meet their divine masculine. Even when they are in separation, they are not able to date anyone else or be with anyone else. And it becomes extremely difficult. It's like as though your heart keeps going back. In any other relationship, usually, you know, you meet someone, it doesn't work out. Max, you would be affected for 2 years. That's about it. By then you would have forgotten the person completely. But in a twin flame case, it's forever. Literally, it's forever. You're not going to be able to move on just like that. And that's how you have to see it. There's no end or beginning in this journey. Once you're a twin flame, you're always a twin flame. Recognition plays a big part. So once you recognize that you are a twin flame, then things start to shift a little, because you're aware and you're also prepared, kind of ready. Many people have that wrong assumption that the twin flame journey is all about a romanticized union. Yes, it will happen eventually, but if you look at it closely, it is the journey in itself that forms a huge chunk of your entire relationship, as a twin flame. And the journey has got so many different levels and stages, and you tend to experience so much more before you get to that level where you're able to freely express yourself. So usually when you first meet your twin flame, you go through that honeymoon phase, you're super excited, things would look like it's going really fast, you would encounter your twin flame a lot, you'll feel like you have the blessings of the divine, like truly. See, and then after that, a huge part of the journey is the separation phase. And when the separation phase hits, things would start to like fall. And that's when you will notice that you're no longer in control of your life, of the journey, of everything. And when that happens, that's when you struggle to identify yourself. So that's when you go through this stage of a kind of an identity crisis. That's why I felt like this topic will be really relevant, because transitioning from a normal individual to a twin flame, it's a huge step. You are no longer going to feel or experience things you have felt before you recognize yourself as a twin flame. So the journey starts when you make some form of contact in 3D. That's when it's like a flame is reignited within you. So that's how it all begins. And then slowly things start to happen. And that's when you'll truly realize that, oh no, this is much more complex than I would have expected it to be. Another big part of who you are as a twin flame is that you must be prepared for all the challenges that you're going to face. It's not going to be black and white, it's not going to be clear cut, it's not going to be a linear journey either. It's going to be full of twists and turns and things that you wouldn't even expect to um, experience. You will start to notice. So it's not going to be a breeze in the park. It's going to be much more complex than that. And that's the reason why the twin flame journey in itself is so complicated. It's like you go through a huge identity crisis before you realize who you are. Anyway, guys, show me that you are here. Throw me a reaction or something so that I know you guys are still tuning in. And of course, feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions or comments. Feel free to share. And even if you have any questions that are not related to the topic as well, please feel free to comment. Hi, Rachel. Good to see you. Hope you're well. I know this is a different timing. Probably that's why I don't see, but I still see the regulars. So thanks for being here despite the time change. Next week onwards, I'll be back to doing Saturday night. Anyway, talking about how you transition to being a twin flame and how you actually start living. The first few years is going to be extremely hard, and that is undeniable. No matter how much you feel you have spiritually ascended or evolved or worked with your trauma, it still hits you hard. It hits you hard as anyone in the twin flame journey. So that's why the beginning stages are the most challenging. That transition. Firstly, the transition is that, hi Lizette, so happy to see you. And it's been a while, so I hope you're well. Now I see more of you all joining me, talking about. So today's topic is about how is it like being a twin flame, the whole transition and how you adapt. And it's basically like being reborn again, realizing you're a twin flame. So yes, so that's the big part of your journey. So yes, so when you first recognize that you're a twin flame, it hits you really hard. And you go through like different stages. And one of the stages is anger. Naturally you will have so much anger towards your divine masculine. It's very natural, and this anger doesn't stem from just this life alone, but many lifetimes. So you might find yourself being angry for no reason, or like, why am I holding so much feelings for this person? And then the next stage would be you would try to move on. You will try to put yourself out there, go back into the dating scene again. You won't be able to find someone, or things would just not work. Somehow you would find yourself circling back to your twin flame. The universe would like send you signs, like you would see your twin flame's name, or you will hear his name, you'll see numbers, something would pull you back. And that is the stage where your divine masculine is running away from you, and you are running away from the journey. So it tends to come in hand. So in that way, you guys are mirroring one another. And then this stage would go on for a while. You just want to like get over your person, and then the next stage would come in where you're completely numb. You're extremely numb to the journey, and you just want some kind of escape because it's too painful. And then the next stage should be like pure depression. You're just so sad and you become a hermit. You don't feel like going out. You don't enjoy the things you're doing. And this stage may come in and out. So sometimes you may feel like, All right, I've passed this stage. And sometimes you can even compare this stage to the dark night of the soul. And this will really, it's like putting yourself in a washing machine. It really, really plays with your mind, heart, and soul. And all you want is a breather. You just want to stop thinking about your divine masculine, and you just want to move on. And everything starts coming in: anger, regret. You're like, one part of you would be like, should have never met my twin flame. Another part of you would be like, this is it. My whole life I'm going to be alone, and this is what I'm going to go through, and all the suffering and the pain. So all these emotions and feelings start to like flood. So that's another phase, and then you go back into being numb again. I'm going to read Rachel's comment. So true. He's completely rejecting me right now and saying he doesn't love me, and I feel like I'm over this journey. And this happens to every twin flame out there. Some rejections are direct. Your divine masculine would literally tell you point blank, I'm not interested in you, or I don't like you, or there's nothing between us, or it's going to be like point blank, and it would hurt you like so deep, to the point where you just want to feel numb. You would just feel like hiding under your blanket and not coming out. So that's how mean those rejections can be. And you would think about it. If it was any other male figure in your life was rejecting you, you would just walk away and never look back. But with your twin flame, it just hits you so bad. And usually the rejection happens in 3D, and often it's point blank. Hello, Tamara. Good to see you. Tamara says hi to everyone. So yes, so as I was talking about, so there's going to be a part in your journey where you're going to be rejected point blank in 3D. So it could happen via ghosting. It could happen, like I said, your DM may just tell you, I'm not interested in you, or they might give you some excuse, but often it would be a point blank rejection, like, I'm not interested in you, or I don't like you, I don't have feelings for you, I can never see you this way. So these things can really play with your mind, because in your mind, deep within, your love is eternal and what you're experiencing is true. But then you're trying to figure out, like, what is it that you're experiencing. So part of you, like your higher self, will understand where your twin flame is coming from. But your 3D self would be so broken. So that phase will go on for a while, and often after that, you will have minimal or literally no contact with your twin flame, and that separation phase can be that you really need to adapt into. You need to adapt into being a twin flame, because that phase is going to. Hi Priya, so good to see you. Thank you for joining in. So you're talking about the transition. So when that state hits you, it will take a really long while to adjust to what's happening. So that can go on for a while, and you are like back and forth, you feel numb. Sometimes you may like fully go into that spiritual lifestyle, healthy eating, working out, distracting yourself, or you may just go into hermit mode. So you would be going through all these stages either all at once or different parts, but these things tend to happen to you once you awaken to the twin flame journey. And the awakening would be extremely painful, and there is no way you can run or hide from the pain. So guys, keep the questions coming in. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions about this topic, and do share your experience, how it felt like, transitioning into being a twin flame, and how you guys have been coping and surviving. It's not easy, and there's no, excuse me, no direct way or answer to it either. And then, as I was talking about how, and then you start to, each one of y'all will start to develop this coping mechanism. You would start to develop. And that's how, twin flames are able to survive years in separation. Some of them are like completely numb to this journey, so that is their way of adapting and transitioning into being a twin flame. So the adjustment is going to be like, okay, that's a very good question, Rachel, and thanks for bringing that up. So the rejection happens is because you are often rejecting a part of yourself. That is what your divine masculine is mirroring to you. So that rejection actually happens because the truth is you are probably not interested in yourself. You're probably not in love with yourself. So your twin flame is directly mirroring what you feel for yourself. And that's why they reject you. It's part of the process for you to fall in love with yourself. So it's all about coming back to self-love. And then you will notice the more you start appreciating yourself, caring about yourself, loving yourself, you will start to see a shift. So that's the reason why divine masculines reject you. Because you are rejecting parts of yourself that you're not even aware of rejecting. Priya's question, I feel the union is near for me and I don't know how to explain it. It's just like it will happen. Exactly. Yes. Usually before union you will just feel it 100%. It's like internally you just know that it's going to happen, and you can't really explain it in words. But thanks, Priya, for sharing it. It's just the way it is. And you just know it will happen. And just as I'm replying to you, Priya, I see 11 viewers and 11 comments, so perfect. Another confirmation that union is near, and really excited about you. All the best. Lizette, my DM is marrying someone else. I've gone through all the stages. I'm now committed on working on my beautiful self. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Lizette. Probably, your DM is probably saying all this, but intuitively, I feel like he might not go through with the marriage in itself. But what you're doing for yourself, it's amazing, Lizette. It's so beautiful. Yes, Priya, it was 11:11 and now it's 12:12. Caitlin, the same for WhatsApp blocking. 5 months of him blocking me. Oh. Yeah. So often, every action of your divine masculine often would have a deeper meaning that you wouldn't even realize. So that's the whole conundrum, in a twin flame connection, because a lot of what your DM does is actually reflecting something that you have not worked on internally, or something. You see, naturally, for instance, you may not be a needy person, you may not be a jealous person, you might not have any of these attributes, but after you actually meet your twin flame, all of this starts to happen. So this shows that the triggers that your twin flame gets onto you is so deep that parts of yourself that might be hidden or never expressed starts to come out. And when all this rejection, when all this comments or action, it's just to make you release and become a stronger person. So that's what's actually happening here. So even with So, Caitlin, when you say that, the blocking and um, that's because your twin flame is so intensely affected by the energies of the connection that it's their way of expressing. So, if we so divine feminines tend to have that needy side, and that's the whole purpose of the twin flame journey. It's basically making you more empowered. um, you will come to a point where you will enjoy your own company and you will start to love yourself. And that's why it's not like any other relationship, because in any other relationship it doesn't matter what stage you are in, as a person, or in terms of self growth or evolution. Whatever stage you are in, you get together. But in a twin flame relationship, it seems like you have to master yourself before getting into union with your divine masculine. And prior to that, there'll be a lot of trials and tribulations that you're going to face. And that's going to be so extreme that you'll be like cracking your mind all the time. Priya's question: I feel by July or end of this year. Is it true, dear? Will it be between me and E or a new person? Thanks a lot. Um, I feel it will be between you and E, and it will happen by the end of the year, and everything will be very, very blissful, Priya. And I feel there's a lot for you to look forward to, you know. So keep the energies going, and over the next couple of months, you will feel the closeness with you and E. So things are going to be very exciting for you, Priya. You're most welcome, Caitlin. Oh, you're most welcome, Priya. So, yep. So, thanks, Priya. Be blessed too. Another thing I wanted to touch on is that if you notice the dynamic between you and your divine masculine, it always happens in contrast. So, example, if you're needy, you'll feel like your DM is completely aloof. If you are obsessed, he's going to be completely running away. So it's all going to happen in contrast. So that's why when you transition into this journey, a big part is actually letting go. And letting go, not literally, but in every way possible. Letting go of expectation, releasing any kind of, you just have to like completely surrender. And that's why this is a spiritual journey, and often you have to go back to your creator, you have to go back to God, and that's how you truly find a kind of peace. So hence that's why the transition between you being aware and awakening to the twin flame, and once you are aware and on the path, it becomes very difficult. It's almost like I said, you're being born again. It's complete lifestyle change. Caitlin's question: can you explain why he lets his ex-partner helping him with his company after her stalking him really made having a 3D relationship with him so stressful in 2022. She really hated me, and now he's turned his back on me and let her in his life again. Painful. Oh, Caitlin, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's from what you're telling me, and from when I tune into the energies, it clearly shows that she's a karmic connection, and things are just the way it is because they have to complete a certain cycle. So that's why it's like going around in circles, but I feel like eventually it will come to an end very soon. So, in a karmic connection, you can't really make sense of why things happen the way they happen. And it can be really crucial to you feeling all that you're feeling, because you're not able to explain any of the actions of your divine masculine, and that can take a toll on you in many different ways. So one thing will be to be detached, but it's going to be really hard, especially when all of this is happening right in front of your eyes. It's going to be extremely difficult. But generally, for all divine feminines, developing that detachment style is a big thing in your journey. And once you develop that, you will notice many changes that come to you. But all of this, it's a process, it takes a while. Janice, how do I know they are my TF? They left 1 year ago and now with someone else already. I feel so strongly they are my TF. When we were together, we saw once all the time. Initials are KG. Janice, you can actually request the reading. I do all the connection checks for the group, so we'll be able to answer that. And get a confirmation, look into your connection and see what's going on with you and KG. And if you want it done privately, you can always book a private reading, and I'll be able to check for you via the Akashic records if this person is your twin or not, and what is the connection. So yes, but often you will be able, again, generally you will be able to know, because the connection you have with your twin flame will be excuse me, extremely different to any other connection you share. And often it's going to be such that it will just be different. Caitlin, yes, that's what I felt as well. Thanks for this. Although it's a shock, I understand on a deeper level. She's a narcissistic person and learns him to set boundaries and they won't finish. Yes, it's a clear case that she's a karmic and they have to like complete the cycle before, things can neutralize between them. So yes, so adjusting, and a big part of the journey is also being alone and enjoying your own company. So if you notice, the twin flame journey is all about self growth and evolution, and you becoming a stronger, more independent. You're basically learning how to survive. So that's what's going on, and that is the adaptation that is taking place. You're adapting to become a much stronger person, a person with more self-love, a person with more, you just become much stronger. Alright guys, I'm going to do some channeling now, so if you guys have any questions, keep them coming in. I will wrap up what I've been talking about. So transitioning into being in a twin flame connection can be a big step, and it can be very traumatizing, and in many ways you will experience many things that you can't really explain in words. So one way is to, once you recognize you're a twin flame, a big part is developing the grit to survive, and also detachment and survival. And it's not like, and again, this journey is not about it's not about it being linear either. So you may feel like you have overcome being needy, but then you might fall back into that pattern. So it's not about, I complete this part of myself, I complete this lesson and I move on to the next. It's about becoming whole Eventually, when you're on the other side, you will notice that this twin flame journey has made you a person that you would have never even imagined that you would become. So it's about becoming so much stronger. It's about surviving. It's about embracing yourself. It's about understanding that you are going to be with yourself for the long haul. So you're developing self love, you're growing, you're becoming stronger, you're becoming independent. There's so many things. Right, I'm going to read some of the questions. Holly, I've known my TF for 12 years, and when we met, he was married and still is. Why would we come together just to not be together in this life? It's been painful staying in the background, even though he sends his soul to me in the 5D. Sometimes it's just the way it is. For some twin flames, you meet your twin flame when they are married. So often, um, there could be a possibility of union in this lifetime, or before you incarnated on earth, that may be what you had agreed with your twin flame. So it can be more complex. Sometimes you got to look at your soul plan and try to understand what is going on. Sometimes the reason why you have met or you have known your twin flame for 12 years is because at some point, you know his marriage may come to an end, and then you are there to actually help your twin flame to transition back to you. But like you say, a big part of your twin flame journey is happening in 5D. So your DM is with you all the time, in 5D. But in terms of why, we have to look deeper into your soul plan. And often you had agreed, it could be part of a soul mission. There will be a reason for everything, and that is the case. And when you say why have we not come together, there's still a possibility of coming together, so don't give up hope that easily, Holly. Lizette, I agree, I feel stronger. I'm so glad, Lizette. Caitlin, traumatizing, that's it. Missing him and feeling his deep depression is heavy, but I love him unconditionally. Can you feel his emotional state where he is in? Sometimes I feel like being crushed. Is it his loneliness? Yes, absolutely. You're tapping onto your divine masculine's energies all the time. Sometimes you may feel like, why am I feeling so depressed? Why am I feeling this? Or why am I feeling that? You are actually feeling your twin flame. And only in a twin flame connection, you would be able to feel your divine masculine's energies so strongly. Hi, Linda. So good to see you. And Linda says hi to everyone. Nimit, hi Vash, please let me know if you see union with SPJ this year. I've been getting mixed signals in 5D and feel she's distancing herself from me. I'm struggling a bit, so anything you pick up that can help me, please. Thanks. I feel, Nimit, it will take a while. So maybe not this year, but 2024, 2025, there's a possibility. She's still dealing with a lot of issues internally, and hence she's not able to appreciate the intensity of this love, because she's used to seeing things in 3D. So she's not able to see the purity of your love and the divinity of your love. So you just got to hang in there, keep sending her love in 5D, and hope that will decrease the union time between you both. Yeah. But if things changes within her internally, then there is a possibility that you can be in union with SPJ this year. But I'm still seeing 2024, 2025. So you just have to hang in there and stay strong and trust that things will be all right, Nimit. All the best to you, Holly. Thank you so much. A lot of what you said resonates. Thank you for telling me not to give up. Yes, don't give up, Holly. There's still a chance. And I've known so many twin flame couples who meet at a young age, and then, you know, their DM is married, and after many years, 20 years, 30 years later, they unite. So there's still a chance. And so don't worry, um, Holly. All the best to you, and I hope, you know, things will work out for you both. But hang in there, 12 years, you know, but still, who knows, 13, 14 years, 15 years? Especially, you don't know what is going on with DM and his marriage, you know. So you just have to stay strong. Kate, Caitlin, I feel depressed. And at the same time, I'm not depressed at all. Yes, that tends to happen. Hence the topic. Transitioning into being a twin flame, this is what happens, you know. It's a lot of, you don't know, you're not going to get like factual answers, you know. A lot of it is going to be energetic, you know. You will notice once you realize you're on a twin flame journey, you're conversing a lot with God, you're conversing a lot with the universe, you're constantly being connected to the etheric planes, you know. It's not going to be narrated by logic or rationality anymore, you know. You're going to adapt to the point of receiving messages from higher dimensions, from the universe. So if you had been a practical person in the past, once you're on a twin flame journey, you may realize that you would start looking, delving deeper into what the universe has to show you. And again, like Caitlin says, you know, sometimes you'll feel depressed, sometimes you won't feel depressed, sometimes you'll feel extremely numb. There's so much you'd experience. Caitlin, you're most welcome. Caitlin says, thanks for giving this to us. You're most welcome, Caitlin. Anytime. That's why I do this live, guys, every week, so that you can ask me any questions and can always tune into what's happening. Madonna, I would love some insight on my divine counterpart Ryan, as we have not been in communication for months, please. Thank you. I feel there's something going on with Ryan with regards to his career, and he has completely shut off. It has definitely taken a toll on him, and hence why he has been silent and he has not been communicative towards you. I feel like he has shut off with even his family members, you know. So Ryan is in a kind of a hermit mode right now. He's kind of in his man cave and, you know, being all alone. And I feel a lot of depression and sadness coming out as well. So that's why, Madonna, hang in there and just give it a little bit more time. And I feel like Ryan will reach out to you. So you just have to stay strong, keep sending love from your end, and things will work out. AP Wong, Vaish, I've been doing a great job working on myself. Are you able to channel anything from my higher self on anything else I'm guided to work on? Your higher self is so proud of you. You've been doing so great. You have been facing a lot of your internal fears, and you've been working on them. You've been evolving at a much faster rate than you would have expected yourself. So your angels are proud of you, and you yourself would be feeling much more lighter and much more stronger. So your higher self wants you to know, keep up with the good work that you have been doing on yourself. And there will be a lot of changes that come your way, so be prepared for that. There could be certain things that happen in your life. You may have a career move or some kind of a lifestyle change. You might even move to a different place. So that is something that I am channeling from your future. So there's going to be a series of changes that is going to come into your life in 2023. So That is something that I'm guided to share with you, AP Wang. And so I would say keep doing what you're doing. Connect with nature if you can, you know, go for hikes or go for walks or even take a stroll by the beach, anything that's nearby you that will further amplify and enhance the work that you're already doing on yourself. So another thing is I would focus on your sacral. There's still a bit of work you got to do on your sacral chakra. I feel there's some things that are too deep and too traumatizing that you haven't visited in a while. So that is something that you may want to work on. It's going to be quite difficult, but because now you're already in that phase of working on yourself, you may be able to face that part of yourself. And once you come in terms with it, you will see a huge shift taking place as well. You've been doing a lot of work on your root chakra, which is great. So yes, that's what I'm getting for you, AP Wong. I hope that helps. Caitlin, when you feel my DF and his karmic partner going to finish their contract soon, will he surrender to his feelings for me again and then on a more conscious and grown up way? Definitely, Caitlin, there will be so much growth. You will start to see a different side of your divine masculine, and you will notice that he's become more matured and he has grown because he's released that part of himself. He has released that relationship, that karmic connection he has with that karmic partner. So he will be more conscious and, you know, in a more grown up way. Linda, I feel DH has finally made a choice and union between us will be very soon. Oh, Linda, I'm so excited for you. I feel that too. Union energies are really strong between you both. So, all the best to you both and keep me updated. I'm so excited for you, Linda. Nimit, thank you so much. 2024, 2025 feels like forever, but I'll continue working on myself and will keep sending you love and positive vibes. Oh, that's beautiful, Nimit. Keep right now, 2024, 2025 may look like it's forever, but before you know it, it's going to be 2024 and 2025. At the rate time is passing by so quickly, you know, everything will happen in divine timing. So stay strong. Everything will work out. Caitlin, the universe told me recently, loud and clear, we are working on arranging things for you to reunite again. Yes, exactly. I agree. I feel that's what's happening. So he's clearing all this karmic debt on his way. So yes. So I'm excited for you guys to unite again. Yes, Linda, I think I just confirmed it for you. You're most welcome. Like I said, I feel union energies really, um, you know, really up there. Lizette, I don't feel the connection with Steve anymore. Is this normal? This happens. With twin flames, this happens. There will be times where you don't feel your twin flame at all. You won't feel like there's a connection at all. So this often happens when you go through what it is called a soul shock. You know, you will feel like completely, you will feel like there's no connection. You have no connection with your DM. So it is normal. Madonna, you're most welcome. Caitlin, timeless, but still want to know, will he feel he wants to return home this year? Absolutely. This year, next year, he would definitely, you know, but I still feel internally he does miss you. It's just that he's not expressing it. You're most welcome, AP Wong. No worries. Like I said, guys, you know, it's okay for you to share all that you're feeling here. Don't feel like, you know, you have to hold back. If there's anything that you want to let out or release, this is your time. I'm here for you guys. So go for it. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about soul shock. That tends to happen. It can happen in the beginning of your twin flame journey. It can happen after a couple of years. You'd suddenly feel like you don't have a connection with your twin flame at all. And that can be uncomfortable because you're so used to feeling your twin flame. So that tends to come back to you, and it can be really scary because you're like, hey, you would start to question the whole connection, and you would feel like, oh no, what is happening to me? It can feel very uncomfortable. So it's not, so you're welcome, Lizette. So it feels good not to feel. So in a way, you may feel relieved as well. Like finally, you're not feeling the energies anymore. Um, so yes. So sometimes it does happen. It's called soul shock. Rebecca. Hi Vaish, the last we were together, SW was asking how we would continue to see each other every weekend. We lived 4 hours away, different countries. I've since come back to my home country on a sabbatical, now 8 hours flight. Since then, he rejects, wants nothing to do with me. I kept getting the word abandonment. Can you give an update with his energies? Will I hear from him at all this year? All right. I was just talking about rejection and how it's quite common. It happens in a twin flame connection. So, tuning into your energies, Rebecca, what I'm feeling is that he's really running away from himself. He's running away from the energies he feels between you. He's not able to understand the love that you both share, and it's really intense for him. So, that's why, despite the distance, despite the time, I sense a lot of fear in his energies. I feel like he's not being completely honest about his feelings. He feels like it's the easier way out. Rejecting you, it's easy. But deep down, what he feels for you, you know what he feels for you. It's so strong. So I feel like he will reach out to you again early next year, mid next year, but it's going to take a while because he's dealing with his ego a lot. So, hence, why there could be a gap and a delay in him connecting with you. And the reason why you keep getting the word abandonment is because that's how he feels. He feels abandoned, but he doesn't know that he's the one who's actually throwing out the abandonment energies. He feels very lonely. He feels like there's no one there for him, but he doesn't understand that he's the one who's creating that situation by pushing you away. So all the best. I hope you hear from him sooner than next year. So good luck to you, Rebecca. Linda, thanks, Varsha. I'll keep you updated. I love your channeling always. Thanks for everything you have taught me and for all the inspiration you've given me. Oh, that is so sweet, Linda. Thank you so much. Your words have really touched me. Thank you again, beautiful soul. And like I said, I'm always here from you, just a message away. Rachel. Hi Vash, how is Carrie doing in his karmic connection? Hope I can ask that. Karmic connections are not fun, and of course, Carrie is not enjoying it. On the surface level, it might look like things are all harmonious, but internally, there's so much pain and suffering, so much conflict. There's so much disagreements going on between them. So, it is, if I were to put a word, it's unhappy, it's stressful, it's forceful. Yeah, it has created a lot of internal like Carrie's just feeling very daunted by it, but he's not showing because it's a karmic connection, and often in a karmic connection you have to complete the cycle, so it takes a while. Both him and his karmic connection have to release what they have to release. So yes, so in other words, he is suffering. Rachel, I hope that helps. Caitlin, you say he doesn't express his love. He's a man of all or nothing. It makes me so insecure and lonely. Does he know I'm still here because I haven't reached out to him for 3 months now? is, yeah, unusual for him and me. A lot of it is happening in his mind. He does think about you a lot. So, no, it's just that right now he's in a place where so much is happening, he's become quiet, but he does have you at the back of his mind. You just have to stay strong, Caitlin. All right, guys, do you have any more questions before I wrap up for this week? Hi, Chantel. How are you? So today we're talking about how is it like to, adjust and adapt into this twin flame journey. And Caitlin, beautiful say, complete the karmic cycle. Yes, for a lot of you twin flames, if you find your DM being in a karmic connection, just give it some time until they complete the karmic cycle. Rebecca, thank you. That's really what I've been feeling. I'm like Caitlin. This is the longest I've heard from him, so it's heartbreaking. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Rebecca. I can feel your pain. You just have to stay strong, and you will hear from him. That's the thing. The most important thing is you can't give up hope. And of course, it will hurt. Of course, you'd be missing him, and of course, there'll be so much, and it is heartbreaking. Each one of you all, you guys are so strong, and you have to be so proud of yourselves because you guys are so strong. And every single day can be heartbreaking, every single moment can be heartbreaking. So, guys, have to be proud of yourselves for staying strong and hanging in there. You guys are lovely, and you guys are doing everything you can. Chantel, well, thanks. Thank you for doing these sessions. You're most welcome, Chantel. Is there anything, if you have any questions, feel free to ask as well. But it's such a pleasure doing these sessions every week, and always lovely to see you beautiful faces here, and you guys are wonderful. And know this, I'm here for you all every week. This time is exclusive, it's personal. Everything that you share here stays here. So don't ever feel like you have to hold back. So if there's anything, just release, let your heart out. I'm here for you guys, and I do channeling as well. Carolyn, good to see you. I've been feeling as though the energy between me and my twin has changed a lot recently. I hope he's releasing karmic cycles. Tapping onto his energies, Carolyn, I actually feel like he is ending several karmic cycles at the moment, in different aspects of his life. So I feel like he's completing certain cycles. I feel he also has some mother wounds that he has been releasing as well. Also, there's a lot of fear-based trauma, there's some sexual trauma, there's a lot that your twin has been releasing. So this last couple of months has been extremely intense, and you may have been feeling it in many different levels. But the good thing is all these cycles are being completed, and he's releasing all of them. So there's massive purging going on. So that's a really good thing. And so once in a while, if you feel really intense, or if you're feeling energetically a bit disheveled, it's your twin. So it's, so in a way it's good that he's so close to like releasing all that he needs to release. There's a lot of work that is happening with his heart chakra and throat chakra as well. So I feel communication would improve between you. And he's also again healing some deep wounds that he has not even looked back. So some are present life issues, some are past life issues as well. So he's healing. So there's a lot of healing that's taking place for your twin flame. I hope that helps, Carolyn. Rebecca, if we ourselves are going through another awakening, does that mean they are too? So in a way they do. So it can happen in different levels. So some can be in a subtle level, some can be more intense. So example, if you're going through an awakening, your twin can also be going through an awakening, but not as intense as you. But some way they would feel it. Yeah. All right, guys, I hope I've answered all your questions. And of course, if you want a private session, you can look at my album. You can always DM me for a private session. I can always slot you in for the week. Um, yes, usually I do live sessions, live readings as well. So you can just book off one of those psychic Zoom sessions, and I can slot you in within the week. And of course, if you want to specified healing or a reading, you can always contact me as well. And yes, so feel free to DM me. And yes, and you can always, if there's something you would like me to customize for you, can DM me as well, a healing or reading that you're looking for. Rebecca, if we ourselves are going through, okay, I've answered that question. Caroline, thank you so much. I've been feeling a lot of deep emotions clearing. This makes sense and gives me clarity. Oh, you're most welcome, Caroline. Caitlin, so much love for you. So much love for you too. All right, guys, I'll see you all next week. Have a great, great, great week. Love you all so much, and you're most welcome, Rebecca. And I'll see you all next week. Keep your questions coming. And yes, if there's anything, if you want any, um, we still do the readings in the group as well. So you guys can always request for me if you would like. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. All right, guys, take care. Love you all and looking forward to seeing you all next week. All right, take care and bye bye.